Psychonauts is the sort of game you've probably only heard of if you frequently venture into online gaming communities. Originally coming out in 2005, it's what a lot of people have called a hidden gem, as it received very high praise from fans and critics alike, but sold quite poorly at launch. However, once the developers, Double Fine Productions, acquired publishing rights and started to put it on digital platforms years later, it quickly sold very well. The game itself is about Rasputin Aquato, a 10-year-old psychic who ran away from his family to train his psychic abilities with a group of international psychic spies that use their powers to keep the world safe. The game's main levels, so to speak, consist of Raz going into the minds of other characters he meets in order to learn new abilities and information, as well as to help them fight their inner demons. So, fast forward 10 years, and in late 2015, Double Fine announced that they would be launching a fundraising campaign in order to fund a sequel. And though the goal was an astounding $3.3 million, the fans pulled through. Fast forward again until August 25th, 2021, and despite a lot of difficulty in development in which the project is saved, believe it or not, by Microsoft of all things, the game is finally finished and released to the world, a whole 16 years after the release of the original game. So there's your history lesson, folks. And yes, there will be a test on this. Even though this is a review of the second game, I will also be talking about the original quite a bit as well for a point of comparison. But I'll try to spoil as little as possible in both cases. Psychonauts 2 is honestly just more of the first game, and that is an incredibly good thing. Everything about this game has the same style as the original, but has evolved with how gaming has progressed over the years. And that's honestly a great thesis for my thoughts on this game. A lot of the exploration of the different people's minds is not only for progression, but also extra collectibles. The sequel makes some changes, which boil down to removing the boring stuff and adding more of what we love. They've added new kinds of collectibles, including nuggets of wisdom, half-a-minds, and supply chests that offer unique rewards. All powers now have use in fights as well as puzzle solving, and you can equip up to 3 special pins in order to augment your powers. The default melee combo is also smoother and more satisfying, less rigid, more flowy. That's not a real word. Flowy's not a real word. We're gonna stick with flowy. These are just a few of the things that shows that Double Fine has taken the criticisms of the original to heart. Let's cover a few miscellaneous things about the game other than gameplay. The music has a very similar style but is noticeably different, as using different types of sounds and instruments is a lot easier today than it was 16 years ago. The writing is still as hilarious as ever. There are many entertaining characters with distinct personalities, and Raz's little quips are still proof that he is trying a bit too hard to be cool, and I love every moment of it.
Good thing we're near a hospital, so, your ghosts don't have to walk very... Oh, never mind.
Remember to act casual!
I am acting casual.
What's that?
I said, I love Casual Friday. Am I right? What? I'm an intern. Agent Forsyth gave me this.
The voice performances are also stellar. I can confidently say that every actor fit their character near perfectly. I will also say that there's a character voiced by Jack Black, and he gets a full 3-minute song. If nothing else has gotten your interest so far, hopefully that did. Despite all that, the main attraction of Psychonauts is the level design of the various minds you visit. All of them are unique and interpret each character's unique issues differently. Confidence problems, sensory overload, loneliness. These are the problems that the Psychonauts series allows you to delve into in a format that is not only digestible, but also actively enjoyable, by keeping the metaphor hand in hand with the absurdity and hilarity of the situations that Raz finds himself in. Every single level hooks you with the narrative, audio, and visual design just as much as it does with the gameplay. It is important to note that this series does contain metaphors and depictions of mental issues that, while they are often depicted in a lighthearted way as a part of the comedy, may be distressing to some people. And the second game also has some dental imagery in the first level that may make players uncomfortable. Luckily, the moments of seriousness are never too terribly far away from a moment of comedy. Raz learns early on that it isn't enough to just, quote, fix people and make their problems go away by messing with their head. It's important instead to help them fight their inner demons on their own, so then when his work is done, they won't need him anymore. This was a problem with the narrative path that the first game took, with some depictions of insane asylum patients that are problematic by today's standards, and I'm very glad they approached the sequel from a different angle. Overall, I would give Psychonauts 2 a score of 9.5 out of 10. I have a few small gripes that keep it from getting a perfect score, some of which I didn't say here because of limited time, but it is truly an incredible experience. It is one of the few games that I finished and then immediately wanted to play through a second time. You don't have to play the first game in order to enjoy the second, but I would recommend playing it if you have the patience. If you're looking for a fun, comedic, and enthralling psychic adventure, Psychonauts 2 might be the game for you.